Coal mines play a vital role in eastern Kentucky, especially that of McGoffin County, since it essentially brought life to the region. When coal mines shut down, there are often devastating effects that include the overwhelming stress of unemployment. Living in a rural area, there's many sources of stress overall that's already there in everyday life, such as overwhelming poverty, widespread unemployment, and there's just so many things that produce stress in our area, which produces a need for a getaway from the harsh realities of the world. Dawkins Backwoods Healing will be that getaway. Our business is essentially an all-inclusive camping site where you can leave everything at home, including the stress and planning that comes with packing for a trip such as this, paired with additional activities and opportunities such as hiking, biking, horseback riding, scavenger hunts, treasure hunts, and many more additional activities that are hard to find elsewhere. This site, the whole mission behind this site, is to allow campers to break away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and achieve that Zen-type mindset that we all search for while experiencing and having a good time.
Our mine site is located in the heart of Rowlandton, Kentucky. Rowlandton, Kentucky is a town built from the coal industry. As you can tell from our site, from Dawkins Trail, our Dawkins Trail starts here, and it borders our mine site. And we hope to play off the business of the Dawkins Trail into our mine. Our mine site once was a surface mine, which operated in 1989 to 1990, a span of 2 years, and employed over 200 miners. As you can tell from our model, we made the very top flat to demonstrate that. Our mine site also gave our community a lot of contributions, as though we reached out and we could not find specific ones. We know, in fact, they did contribute to our community. And the Dawkins Rail Trail expands 18 miles long and is currently the longest bike trail in Kentucky. Our site is home to various wildlife. As we discovered through our various trips to the site, we discovered various scats and tracks that led us to believe our mine site is home to different animals such as horses, deer, squirrels, which would be great for our guests to enjoy. Our mine site is also home to many plants, such as ivy and berries. Berries would allow our guests to engage in activities such as berry picking. The open aerial view of our mine site offers the opportunity to work with solar energy later on in the future to downsize our finances later on. And it also opens the area for us to build our 10 campsites and our 5 cabins along with. It is also isolated from outside disturbances, as it is tucked away from the outside world. So not only would you get to come and enjoy, you wouldn't have the focus of the outside world pressing in, as it is spaced out and is secluded away from that pressure. Features that would possibly hinder our business would be the wildlife. As I said, it is a great feature to have on the site. It is also a possible liability, as they are wild animals and you cannot control that, so it would have to be addressed. Also, the roads to our site, even though they are developed, they could still be a hard ride to many, as it is out, secluded away. Okay.
Dawkins Backwoods Healing is essentially a camping site that takes outdoor fun and adventure to a whole new level. The opportunity to disconnect from the stress of everyday life and achieve that Zen-type mindset that we all search for, paired with additional opportunities and experiences that are hard to find elsewhere. The whole idea behind this backwoods healing is that the damage inflicted on our bodies and minds by everyday stress can be remedied by the peace, quiet, and serenity that our campsite has to offer. Our mission is to allow campers to break away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and just reconnect with themselves and nature. One thing that cannot be more prominent in our area is a lack of entertainment opportunities. For that reason, our business will be serving the market in this area due to our opportunal isolation. If someone in our area was searching for a fun outdoor type of adventure such as this one, they'd need to travel a good distance away to find one. And even then, they wouldn't be able to find the same type of unique experience that we have to offer. For that reason, it's obvious that there's next to no major competitors in our area for this type of business, making it simple for us to serve the surrounding market. When it comes to gaining business from outside of our area, however, there are several businesses that could be potential competitors. We have several factors that we feel allows us to stand out in light of these others. First of all, with other camping experiences, there's so much stress and planning involved that typically it takes away from the experience itself. At Dawkins Backwoods Healing, however, all of that stress and planning is taken care of for you by the fact that anytime you purchase a package through us, even the most basic one, anything and everything you could need to sustain yourself throughout your stay will be provided and included within that package, and it will already be set up for you by the time you reach your site. This saves campers an enormous amount of time, stress, and money. Secondly, with other camping experiences, there isn't much to do besides, well, camp, making it easy for you to get bored with your vacation and preventing you from unlocking the full potential of your stay. At Dawkins Backwoods Healing, however, we're not selling a campsite, we're selling an experience. There are numerous activities that guests can participate in: hiking, biking, scavenger hunts, treasure hunts complete with authentic-looking treasure maps, horseback riding, and several other activities that we feel allows us to stand out in light of these other businesses. Also, if you wanted to participate in these types of activities at other types of businesses such as ours, you'd most likely be out enormous sums of money to buy the equipment that you may only use for one weekend. Not only that, but then you would also have to pack and travel with that equipment. At Dawkins Backwoods Healing, however, we allow guests to still have the opportunity to participate in these activities without going through all of that stress and worrying and without being out that large sum of money. This gives our products and services an advantage over those found elsewhere. We can take biking, for example. If, say, a family of 4 decided they wanted to go on a camping trip and they wanted to bike, they'd have to go to a store, pay out hundreds of dollars per bike, buy the bike racks, pack, unload the bikes once they get to the campsite, use them maybe 3 or 4 times, and then they may just shove them in a shed somewhere to collect dust because they no longer need them. This wastes an enormous amount of time and money. At Dawkins Backwoods Healing, however, all they would have had to done when they were selecting a package to purchase, they could have chose one that included biking, drive to the campsite, park their car, and they would already have 4 bikes awaiting their arrival. They could use those bikes as much as they wanted to, as much as they wanted to throughout their stay with no extra expenses. Another amazing thing about this type of market, about this type of business, is that we're not just targeting one certain group. We're not targeting one age group, one gender, or even one type of outdoor enthusiast. With our deferring packages, we're able to target many different types of people. For example, we can go with the family of 4 example again. If you are a mother, father, and you have 2 young children, and you want a camping experience that reaches out and appeals to both groups, you could choose an experience that has to do with things that both the parents and the kids can enjoy, such as scavenger hunts, the treasure hunts that have the authentic treasure maps and the pirate hats and eye patches so the kids can hunt for treasure, and arts and crafts and things that the kids would really enjoy but the parents could too. Or if you're a group of experienced hikers, you could choose a package that included experiencing our more moderate and advanced packages, our more moderate and advanced hiking trails, and more rigorous activities such as the sports and competitions that we have. Or even if you're an elderly couple, if you're just looking for a nice way to enjoy nature, but you're not as up and about as you used to be, you can choose a more laid-back visit that included things like berry picking, bird watching, sightseeing, walking on the easier trails, and things like that. Not only that, but our business, the way our site is set up, we have 5 different cabins and 10 different campsites. 4 can be held in each campsite and each cabin, which allows us to sustain up to 60 people at once. Without being up in each other's faces, you can still be isolated from each other. This allows us to sustain multiple groups of campers at different times. We'll also be targeting members of the Dawkins Trail in general, since our site borders the Dawkins Trail. As you can see, the Dawkins Trail runs adjacent throughout our entire site, making it easy for us to target those members of the trail.
When working on the market analysis, I was able to talk to the chairwoman of the Dawkins Trail, Victoria Doucette, and we came up with the numbers that annually 2,500 to 4,000 people use the trail for walking, horseback riding, and bicycle riding. We project to gain 5 to 10% of that business. Also, the trail is used for annual festivals, which can hold anywhere from 2,500 people to 5,000. Advertising. We decided to make a Facebook page, and we are currently working on an actual website for this project. We plan on making brochures, an app, and signs that will go along the Dawkins Trail, and we made flyers. Let's see. As you can see, there's more pictures of our website we're working on. And I'd like to take the time to talk about our team. I'm Quentin Minix. I'm the social media guy, and I'm a Royalton native. We have Leah Bailey, who is our creative detector, Micah Shepard, who helped us with the model, Jay McDaniel, he's our math wizard, and we have Jacob Watson, who is our lead researcher.
When coming for our financial analysis, our team got together and discussed many things we need to consider, especially in the investments. As you see, we got together, came up with several things we do need to include when making our financial analysis. The initial step would be about $240 to get this site ready. The site's already fairly clean, but there'll be a little bit of undergrowth and need to be taken care of. With $240, we can easily get that removed. Food, setup, cleanup, weeding. The tents, we included 10 tents for our initial setup. Remember, this is just starting out. There is room for expansion. We have 5 12-by-12 cabins. The reason we did 12 by 12, we thought that doing a large, luxurious cabin would be too big an investment for the revenue that our site would draw and the traffic that the Dawkins Trail draws. And we included bed frames, bed mats, sleeping bags, toilet, arboretum, solar shower, and so on. And here's our prices. For one person staying in tent, $70, $110 for two, $130, so on. The cabin, $110, $140, $170, $200. And the bike rental plus geocaching is $30 a visit per person. So say if you stay 3 nights, $30 the whole time you're there for your bike and geocaching device. Now, I know it seems expensive looking at the tent being $70 for one person, but the thing they had to remember is that in this, we're not just including the campsite. We are providing setting up your tent, and we are providing your food, and we are cooking your food for you while you're here. Campsites, they'd run about $30 for staying on their site, not supplying anything but the ground to set your tent on. Here we supplied a full package. If I can get to click. Get Leah. Thank you. Okay, here I estimated the monthly income. As you'll see, we have high months and low months. The winter months obviously are going to make a lot lower than the higher months because there's not as much traffic on the trail. This is centered around outdoors. So we will take a little bit of a loss there, but in, say, months May through about September, we're getting quite a bit of money per month. And this is not just what we draw in, this is also including what we invest per month. And we did this estimate off of the amount of people. Yeah, okay. This off of the amount of people we estimate will be coming per month. We estimated a 10% growth per year, per month. So say you got 400 the first April, next year we'd estimate 440 people to visit Dawkins Trail. And we estimated 10% of the visitors would come and stay at our site. And there's the equation I used to come up with that. And this is our 5-year projection. After about 1 year, we would break even. And over the course of 5 years, we get to about $110 total in our business. That's not 110 per year, it's just 110 that we have grossed. Remember, this is our simple package. We've not expanded, not added anything, just what you see here. Now, our investors would mainly be the landowner who said he would invest, and we're going to give him a 4% cut of our profits after 5 years. And also, I'd like to mention that Royalton, Kentucky is receiving a $2 million grant. We just found out about this last night. We will have incorporated it in our PowerPoint. They'll be receiving a $2 million grant for the Dawkins Trail for the sake of developing it and developing around it. And amongst it, they're planning to set up an RV site and horse stables. Now, some people might see this as a threat to our business, us just being tents and cabins. but they are appealing to a somewhat different crowd with the RV site. So say someone wants to stay on our site, have a tent, and they want to rent horses. They go down there, rent a horse, and we don't have to worry about supplying the horses. Say someone wants to stay down at the RV park, and they want to rent a bicycle, we'll gladly rent them a bicycle. And in future, we might even consider teaming up with them or even merging our businesses, depending on how it goes. And I'd like to mention, this is the equations we use to get our projection over the years and our monthly income. So this $30 here includes the investments per month, well, per person. At 14.5 is per month. So this $30, that includes food, preparing the food, setting up any miscellaneous repairs we would need on our, say, tents, equipment. And we estimated a third of people that stayed per month would go to the cabins and 2/3 would stay in the tents. Winter month a little different. It's colder. Not many people want to stay in a tent. So we actually even dropped the prices since we're expecting a lower traffic to maybe make a few more people want to come. Not many, but a little more attraction. This equation we used to get that. And the same investments, not quite as much income. This is a modest income. It's not really going to supply a living wage, but it's supplemental to an income that, say, someone's already working. Now, say this were to expand, like with this $2 million Royalton grant they're getting. We could potentially get quite a bit more than this just seeing how the trends go in recent years. But for now, with our initial setup, this is what we estimate over the course of 5 years.
While we researched in many different ways and contacted many different professionals, we wanted to thank Veronica Duwatt, who is the president of the Dawkins Rail Trail. She was the one who let us know of the $2 million expansion that they just got, and she was a big help throughout all of this presentation, and we just wanted to take a moment out of our time to thank her.
Our business is very realistic due to the relatively low cost to start up, and also the possibilities that our business have to offer will grow and be able to expand exponentially. And also, the Dawkins Trail is located relatively close, like even adjacent next to our business. So we'll be able to grow and prosper with the Dawkins Trail and be able to use their popularity to help boost us and help make money for us. And also, we came across a couple risk factors, which also included that that in the winter months, of course, there'd be hardly to no business. And also that with a couple uses of the equipment and also the buildings that they may need repaired or replaced due to natural wear and tear. And with the Dawkins Trail, we'd like to say that also, it's pretty much a great place to go. It's all inclusive. You can't really do much about that. I mean, it's the greatest thing that you could possibly go after. And also, we'd just like to say that with the seclusion that we have to offer, it also offers healing aspects for people in their mind. And we'd just like to say that if we'd pass out a couple flyers to let you see some sample packages, and also that you can see our contact info. And if you want to come stay, come join us. We'd be happy to have you, and we'd like to thank you for your time.
Here's front one of our flyers for anybody who'd like to see it, who doesn't have one of the brochures with them.
I may have missed it. Did you say how big your site was?
It is 1 mile long by 1/2 mile wide.
And do you plan on constructing more trails or just using the existing Dawkins Trail?
Over time, we plan to construct more, but as of now, we hope to build off the business of the Dawkins Trail.
And as you can see in the model, there's plenty of room outside of our campsite itself for trails to be developed and everything, so that is definitely in our plans. Because hiking is a big part of the activity on Dawkins Trail, and hiking the same trail over and over again, would get boring, so we'd like to offer some additional trails.
There may be a paradox or contradiction. You talked about wild animals and danger. The sign was danger. deer are very pleasant to see, but what is wild and dangerous, and how would you deal with that?
We cannot identify all the animals that call our mines at home. I gave off the examples of one we know for sure, but just in case there was an encounter for wild horse, bucking, or an incident like that, that would have to be a liability that would need to be addressed.
And in our area, there are a few animals that people don't want to come in contact with, like the occasional snake and stuff.
Or the
But I mean,
coyotes.
That's, you know, common throughout any part of eastern Kentucky, and there would be ways to deal with that. Like if snakes or something got to be a problem, we could call in someone to have deal with that and deal with the whole problem.
Thank you.
You mentioned that the landowner was going to provide a significant portion of your startup investment. I don't remember, what did you say the startup cost was going to be?
I believe I've actually left that out, getting caught up in it. It was $35,820 for the startup, relatively low, and we make profit after 1 year with our estimates.
Is the landowner going to provide those initial startup costs 100% for you, or are you going to have to seek funding elsewhere?
Most of what the landowner is providing is a small portion of the startup, along with letting us have the usage rights of the land without having to pay him for it. And he's going to provide a small portion of the startup cost, but we hope to get the rest from, like, the grant that just was granted to Royalton for the Dawkins Trail. And the landowner we've already discussed it with him, and he said if this was to happen, he would be fine with waiting until 5-year mark, and then he would start getting 4% of the profits from that day forward.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
How far is the campsite actually off the Dawkins Trail?
It's a very small distance, as you can see right here. We kind of painted it in a little bit. As you're walking from the parking lot along the Dawkins Trail, right here is a dirt path that branches off. And I'd say it's no longer than a mile up to the front of our Arboretum, which is like our welcoming center. So a mile off the Dawkins Trail, and maybe, what would you say, 2 to 3 miles away from the parking lot where they park their cars. And if they chose like a biking package or something, the bikes would be ready for them there. That way they could bike or hike or ride their horse or whatever they want to do up to the site. But it's not that long of a distance.
I like it.